we have an emergency. So with the power vested in me through White Claw, we're gonna make it through. I actually had a different video scheduled for today, but it's a pretty intense video and you'll understand why later, but I just need a little bit more time to do research. I need a little bit more time to compose my thoughts and to just get everything laid out. So I don't want to rush it, and I just decided to push it back a little bit further, but I needed something quick to fill the schedule for this week. So I was looking around and was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I decided I needed to do an emergency repot, so I started putting it on my table and was like, oh my gosh, I need to like help these things. But I just figured, why not do an SOS repot, since I've never done one before, although I've been doing a lot of rehab repotting on this channel as of lately. But yeah, there are just 3 plants right now that are standing out to me, screaming, help me. And today is the day we're gonna do it. So again, only 3 plants, gonna be a very quick repot. I'm not even branding this as a repot and chat because I don't think I'm gonna be very chatty. I really just wanna get this done. I have filmed 2 videos in its entirety already, and we're just rolling through onto this one. So I am exhausted. My voice is starting to go, so I would like to just get through this in one piece. So I'm just going to show you what we're working with today. This one is some kind of anthurium hybrid. I got it from Lauren. I don't really have any guesses at what this would be. Dressleri hybrid. I don't know. I have no clue. Not even the slightest clue, but she said she has struggled with this plant. She didn't know what it wanted and she was just ready to chuck it out. So I was like, don't do that. And I brought it home. It's with me. I kind of already have a plan at what I want to do. I'm not really sure I want to keep the root system on it. I kind of want to just start over. And I know a lot of people are against that. And so many people have a problem with me chopping off roots on my own plant. But you know, we do what we feel is right. And yeah, I'm just kind of thinking we've got a long stem here to work with. I don't see why I shouldn't be able to reroot it. I'm honestly thinking about rerooting this just in water or perlite, but I want to get it cleaned up. Truth be told, I'm probably going to chop off a lot of these leaves that don't look very well and just leave this guy. We'll figure it out when we get there, but I'm just going to kind of show you all the players in the game today before I get started. So there's that one, and then there is this very, very sad El Choco that I have been showing in a few videos saying I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna repot it, and then I never do. The sad part is this is not even my plant. This is Nick's plant, and it just doesn't look great. This one was infested by spider mites. You can see the spider mite damage through that very like sort of dusty looking texture you see on the leaves where the white is. And then we just have leaves that straight up just died. So a part of me kind of wants to just start over with this plant. He is limited in space. I recently went over to his house. He's in Montreal right now, but I have a key to his house, and I was like, oh, how the plants are doing. So he cleaned up a lot. He got rid of a lot of plants. I can tell he chopped back a lot of plants from what I can tell. So I don't really think he cares if he's not getting a massive El Choco back. I actually think he would quite prefer starting back off as a smaller plant. I'm probably gonna get it on a lazy pole right away, or just might chop this and reroot, because look at how long this stem is. It's ridiculous. So there is a good chance I'll just chop, start over again, prop some of these nodes for him so that he can maybe have more El Chocos. But regardless, I need to handle this because this is not a vibe. The last one is this Philodendron Esmeraldense AF that I just picked up from Lauren. This is one of the plants that came in from the Tropicals Plants show. I've already mentioned this in my new leaf video, which I don't know if it's going up before or after this video, but I am absolutely in awe of this plant. I love it so much. It kind of reminds me of a Philodendron Felix, which I cannot afford, but it's given me Felix, and I love it. I got it for a great price. It is a new import. Some of the leaves died off already. I just chopped them off, but we have a new leaf coming in. Where is it? Here. and it looks pretty sizable. So I just got to see what's going on in here. It was imported a week ago and it's still just in this situation. So I really could not put off this video any longer. I really got to get it out of there. So I think I'm actually going to start with this one because this is the one I'm most concerned about at this point. So as usual, I will take you to the table and we're just going to start rehabbing. I think this is as good as it's going to get with the angle. We're going to start with the Esmeraldense AF, and I am nervous. I am. I wonder what color my pot is going to be. Oh, I got a normal pot. I wanted another hot pink one. Come on. I'm gonna keep this for other plants, and Pud heard me tapping this and he thinks something's going on. No one's at the door, child. It's not looking good. Hi. What time is it? Oh, that's why. You guys, he's so funny. Right on the money. 2:30. He's like, it's time for our daily nap. Trust me, I know. All right, so here's what we're working with. You guys already know. I am gonna chop these guys off. They are, oh, dead and gone. They are, look, crunchy, crispy. I'm going to chop this one off. All of this is dead. This one's dead as well. Sometimes they look dead, but they're not. Like, they still have good tissue, like at the very, like where it attaches to the stem, but like you can see on these, like they're actually dead. Like they're a crisp. You guys might be able to hear my neighbor upstairs cleaning. I know that she cleans on the weekends. Respect. I should be cleaning too. So like this one has just died at the bottom, but I'm not completely unhappy with the way it looks up here. So I'm just gonna chop off where I can see it start to die, which is where it bent here. So yeah, you can see where I chopped. There's still some good tissue in there. And it's not just like hollow, so I'm gonna leave that one. Got an old petiole here. I have sort of like an infection in the back of my mouth where I had my wisdom tooth surgery a long time ago. I get recurring issues with it, and it's kind of hard to talk. It hurts when I open my jaw. The pain is like right here, and there's like a little bit of like, you know when you get those canker sores? So it's like really inflamed, and I need to take medicine. So let's show you this one. So another root that I believe to be completely dead. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So in comparison, like look at how there is no tissue left on there. It's just completely dry and hard compared to what I just showed you. You can see it's kind of green still, and it's like very much alive. So that's how you can sort of tell the difference. Keeping this, obviously gonna keep this. This is a nice big juicy root that's gonna put me in a good place. Although I wish it was a little bit higher, like up here, because I would have loved to chop this stem down because it's quite long, but I'm not gonna be chopping this, not now. I don't want to stress it out more. This one I believe is still a viable stem as well. It just looks like it died here where it snapped. So again, I'm gonna cut where I can see good tissue. And again, still alive. So, you know, it's not terrible. It's actually decent. Massive stem. This is gonna be a great one to propagate later. I can definitely get some good trades out of it. Oh, look, we've got some new roots down here. Let me try and show you. I don't want to break it. I was like, why aren't these pieces of moss falling off? Well, I'm not gonna touch it, but like you can see there's some new roots right here, and I think even here. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch it. But now the question is, what do I want to rehab this in? Honestly, I'm almost thinking tree fern fiber. I think I've just really been on this tree fern fiber kick lately, but I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever done a new import in tree fern fiber. Otherwise, my next substrate of choice would be perlite, because I'm trying to not use moss anymore in terms of growing plants. I just don't like dealing with it. And I like the idea of not buying sphagnum moss anymore. So, what do I want to do here? And I'm not going to clean up this stem because it looks pretty clean already. There's just some old sheath and stuff, but I'm not worried about it. The only thing is this freaking plant is like growing at an angle, so I'm going to have to train it to go this way. You know what I might do is make the pole wide enough so that it hits both of these points on the stem, and I'll just make it like, yeah, wider. But I just don't know what I want to propagate in, or what I want to rehab in. Moss used to be my safety net with new imports, so this is kind of like new terrain for me to not use moss. I did not have luck using pond for my last import, which is my anthurium nigrolaminum GG. That one is in the afterlife. It's done. It's dead. Threw it away already. Sad times, but it's okay. They're popping up more. I'll be able to get another one whenever. It's not really a urgent thing, but obviously I don't like throwing away money. So, oh gosh, what do I want to do? So I do have tree fern fiber that I can use, and I have pon, and I have orchiata. For some reason, my gut is going to perlite, but I don't want to sift out the perlite and clean it and sterilize it. I've just had too much of a day. That's too much work for me right now. And I do feel more confident acclimatizing philodendrons than I do anthurium. So I think I'm just gonna go with my initial gut instinct, which was tree fern fiber. Now what to put it in is the question. I think I could do this because it'll be tall enough that I can stick a good majority of the stem in and also do a lazy pull. So let's just do that. I think I even might do a little reservoir of leca down at the bottom just to sort of wick some of that moisture up. So sometimes you'll see these little chunks of tree fern fiber. I would recommend pulling them apart if you can, because I've had roots grow into them and then they're so hard to take out because they're so dense. So either try and break it apart, or just honestly, if it's not even that much, just throw it away. But yeah, I lost some roots in a tree fern fiber plant once because it was grown into this little tree fern fiber ball. Let's do this. Wow, things are already getting messy. So, vessel. Yep, I think this should be perfect actually. I can make a little strap for the top. And these internodes, internodes are kind of tight, like right here, so I can't make a super thick strap, but I can definitely make a thicker one for the top. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten yet. It's already 2:30. Please be the right size. Oh, so big. Okay. Not quite. It'll do. Okay. So before I put this one on, I'm going to put some substrate down. I'm going to direct this aerial root down into the substrate so that it roots. as well as all of these aerial roots. They're all gonna go in this substrate. And the only thing is this one will eventually face the right way, I think. But like I said, I want to get this part of the stem and this part of the stem into this pole because it's like angled out quite a bit. So I'm gonna enclose it like that. Let me just get a strap on here now. I'm just gonna use this one. I think I could put one right here between these two leaves. What was I doing? I think that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm even gonna add probably another one here to enclose it. But I'm gonna add some moss first and I'm gonna fill my substrate. So let me do that. Ah, no. That was like 5 cents of tree fern fiber that just fell onto the ground. I think that's as high as I wanna go. Okay, now I'm gonna move this down and then I'm gonna make another strap. This is so awkward because of like how both of these stems are angled. Okay. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Strangest situation going on here. But you know, we're gonna make it work. Okay, let's fill this baby with some moss, and then we're gonna call it a day on that one. Oh, that's dry. For this moss pole, it's actually probably better that it's a little bit on the wetter side because there are no aerial roots. It's just all going on the stem, and I'm not worried about it being like too soggy or whatever. All right, let's get this filled. You could alternatively fill the moss first and then put the straps in, but I don't know. I've just found that my normal is like my instinct is to just put the straps in already and then just fill around it, but it works both ways. It's really just what you prefer. So this one is in. You can see I've got a little parfait going here. I have leca down at the bottom to create a reservoir for water. And then I have my very chunky tree fern fiber mix. There's a good spread of, gosh. There's a good mix of pon and perlite mixed throughout. And then I have sphagnum moss covered up at the top to stabilize the pole, stabilize the plant, and also kind of trap in that humidity and water in here a little bit longer, because I do find that the chunky tree fern fiber dries out pretty quickly, and I do plan on putting this in my tent where it's very hot. I could probably even like tie these leaves up so that it's not leaning forward, and I might do that just for space reasons. Sorry, I can't see anything I'm doing, but I swear I'm doing something productive. I think I am. Ah, my arms are on fire. It burns. This is just a really weird wonky leaf anyway. Honestly, if I had more space in my tent, I would just say it and leave it, but I already know that this leaf is gonna be covering another plant that I need to have more light Not the best, but it'll do. These leaves are gonna shift anyway. Eventually, it's just gonna look like this for now. Fingers crossed it takes to life in tree fern fiber. Honestly, it's been pretty resilient just being in that situation it was in for an entire week. So, all right, I think the next two are gonna be much quicker because I'm literally just chopping it and rehabbing it. This thing is a disaster. Can you tell I really have zero patience at this point? This stem is so long. Oh my gosh. Oh, this root system's nasty. I'm not even gonna freaking bother. Okay, so this is gonna be a fun cleanup. So I'm gonna remove this leaf. I'm gonna be very quiet and just give you all the good crunchy ASMR. The stem is so discolored. It has not seen the light of day. It's like yellow and... Okay, so now to chop off all of these aerial roots, dead aerial roots I should mention. So honestly, it's gonna be much easier to remove some of this nasty sheath that's really stuck on there when it's wet and has been soaking in water for some time. This is the longest stem I've ever freaking seen with just 2 measly leaves. So I have treated this for spider mites, but I honestly can still see some webbing, so I'm just gonna chop this leaf off because I would rather treat 1 leaf than have to treat 2, especially one that just looks so sad. So I think this is the plant that we're gonna be left with. This leaf might not even make it, but we have a very long chunk. I am not gonna give this back to Nick until it looks like an actual freaking plant. But because the stem is so wrinkly, like you can see how dehydrated and sad it is, ideally I would like to chop this into like separate nodes. But I've found that when you're dealing with a very sad chonk that's really wrinkly and sad like this, the chances of a small chonk rotting and just turning hollow is very high. I like to try and make sure that the chonk has like perked up even a little bit or like plumped up a little bit, because then it doesn't dry out as fast. So in this case, what I'll do is, instead of chopping it into little pieces right away, I'm just gonna chop what I want for the top. And there was one node here that you would have seen that I kind of scraped a little bit more than the other ones, because I would love to get some roots right here. So I'm gonna chop down here. Stem is still very healthy, lots of good tissue in there. And this is what I'm gonna hope is the new mother plant. And I'm just gonna actually stick this all in water. I'm not gonna try perlite, I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm just gonna do good old water. I've had very good luck rehabbing El Choco Reds in water and rooting in water. So that's what I'm gonna do for that one. And then for this one, I am gonna soak the whole thing in water, probably overnight. I'm gonna let this callus up a little bit, and then hopefully it's looking a little bit better tomorrow. And if it does look better, then I think I'll chop this in maybe another half or into thirds. If not, if it doesn't perk up, I'm just gonna leave it like this and stick it in the prop bin like this and just see what happens. But you can see that we've got a ton of auxiliary buds along this stem. So good potential for new plants, but we've gotta, of course, we have to make sure that the stem stays nice and plump. I have a good feeling about this one. It's a great chunk. It's very healthy, super firm. And I'm gonna use this leaf, if it stays alive, as a determination of how this plant is doing. If it starts to perk up, then I know that it's taken in water and it's probably gonna rehab pretty well. If it dies, it means we've just got a longer road to go. But I really hope Nick doesn't watch this video. So that is that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna give this back to Nick. These are not allowed in my house. This one is gonna be super easy. Honestly, if I didn't know how big the chonk was underneath the substrate, I would just chop it here and then just chuck all of this in the trash. But, are you active? This looks like a pretty brand new Throwbacks package. I'm gonna stick this in my tent. It looks pretty new. So I'm gonna get this out of here. I have a feeling there might be some spiders in here because this came from the greenhouse, I think. I'm scared. I'm just gonna loosen this so that I can just pour it all out. Yeah. Lots of rotted roots as expected. I really just wanted to see, whoa, the chunk size we were working with, and it is pretty big. So I'm gonna chop this away from this main stem here, and it's actually really, really soft down here. So I'm gonna chop this part, this really white part, even more. Healthy tissue, looks good. Let's cut this open just to see what it looks like. You can see it's like half healthy tissue but half rotted. All right, so let's work on this one first. I've got this dyed leaf, and I did say I was going to remove some leaves. I'm gonna remove this one down here. I'm probably even gonna remove these, to be honest. Not too fussed about trying to save them. Just need to remove a lot of this like old sheath. I want you guys to enjoy it with me. This is like one of the best parts of this hobby, is removing sheath. Yeah. This is a good sized stem, and I'm kind of intrigued that there's like so much red in this stem. I want to know what this hybrid is so bad. This second part here, It's really rough. Oh, it's so soft. Look. Oh my gosh, that's so soft too. Okay, let's see. She did tell me that the main chunk rotted, but that second growth point was totally fine. But I don't think this is all rotted. I think it's just rotted at the top, so you can see rot and you can see some like fleshy tissue. Ooh, fleshy tissue, I don't like that. Still rotted. Getting closer. I'm gonna have to spare some of these roots, but it's fine because this one does not look good. Neither does this one. I think I can chop here. It's still not looking good, but we're getting closer. Ooh, that's where it gets tricky. Because that rot will most likely spread to the rest of the stem. So you don't want to leave any of that on. Oh man. Okay, let's... Dang it, these were pretty solid roots too. Okay, let's go down here. Looks good, smells good. I just wanted to try and save this in case it turned out to be a really nice hybrid. Maybe I could give a piece back to Lauren or to someone else, do a trade, I don't know. Yeah, this is all good. All of this is very, very firm. We have some rotted roots down here. You can see it's kind of just like peeling off. My confidence level in this chunk is, I would say, teetering around a 5-6. I could probably clean this up a bit and just scrape off some of this debris on the outside, but not go too deep. Just kind of like wake it up a little. You have a new mother now, and it's time to wake up. And then I think I'm even gonna do like a hydrogen peroxide soak on this one. And I think I will opt for perlite for this chunk. Typically, I've always rehabbed my anthuriums in perlite or moss. Those are kind of my go-tos at the moment for anthuriums, but I am sort of experimenting with tree fern fiber and anthuriums in terms of like a leafless chunk. I don't know if any of them are gonna make it, but it doesn't hurt to try. I had really good luck with tree fern fiber and my philodendron, so I really wanted to see how it would perform with anthuriums that were not doing very well. So really that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go too much. I've really just lightly scraped off the dirt that was on the outside. I'm not too worried about this one right here. This is the chunk that this one grew from. So really it's like 3 generations of plant. Original stem, auxiliary bud that grew from this stem, and then this one grew from this stem. Great grandpa, grandpa, dad. What? Grandpa, great grandpa, great great grandpa. My guess is this is completely dead, and I wouldn't even attempt to save this even if it was healthy, to be honest, because it just looks so, wow, that's... I thought it went flying. That was difficult. Was it these two? It's like a tree trunk. Jeez Louise. We're almost done here. What I'm gonna do is go wash this leaf off. It's very, very dirty. And then I'm gonna go get some hydrogen peroxide water and give this one a soak. And then I'm gonna get this potted. I don't know why I said I was gonna get this one potted when I'm just gonna do water. I think I've decided that I'm actually going to do water for both of these, water propagation. I love water propagation. I haven't really done it lately with any plants besides like Scindapsus cuttings and stuff, but this one will go into my perlite prop bin. Wait, perlite? yeah, perlite or moss and whatever. I should soak this one as well though. So I'm gonna soak that, and then I'm gonna add some hydrogen peroxide. I finally bought a new bottle. These are so expensive now. Like, I remember paying like $3 for it at one point, and now it's like $7, $6, $7. Groceries are like crazy high right now in Vancouver. I'm not gonna add 50-50. I don't know. I don't want it to waste so fast. So that will go in there, that will go in here, and the reason that I'm soaking, again, just to refresh your memory, I'm only soaking this one in here because I want to loosen up the sheath and all that debris that's stuck on there so that it's easier for me to scrape off. But I'm probably not going to do that on camera, mostly because my jaw is really hurting here. I have to go to the dentist. These might be good sizes. This one's taller, so this one can go in here. All right, I'm gonna add a couple drops of hydrogen peroxide in here, and then I'm gonna add some water. So these ones are done. I actually plan to put this one in my tent because it's very, very humid, very hot, and I think that's gonna promote a lot more root growth faster. But you can see the hydrogen peroxide is working its magic. And then I don't actually change it out. I'm just gonna leave it because eventually the hydrogen peroxide will just like turn to water or something like that. Same with this one. I don't think I'll put this in my tent because I don't really want it to be subjected to so much heat because my anthuriums do so much better in cooler temperatures. So I am just going to sit it on the anthurium shelf, but I'm gonna make sure the cup is sitting on top of where a grow light is because it's like really, really warm directly on there, and it's kind of gonna double as a heat mat. So yeah, we'll see. Like, I am kind of excited to have another dark leaf anthurium in my collection. I'm not gonna lie, it sort of reminds me of my Hoffmanii X, but I don't think it's that. We'll see what it turns into. Definitely not in any rush. And then these ones I will handle off camera because I'm gonna let this soak probably for the rest of the night and handle it in the morning. But you guys see lots of chunk cleans on this channel. I think you can do without one. But yeah, crisis hopefully averted. I think that those are my last like emergency repots. Like, there's still some plants that definitely need care, like this box that's been sitting on my freaking floor for a month, but they're surprisingly doing okay. Yeah, I hope you kind of enjoyed this impromptu video. I'm getting kind of burnt out, so I didn't want to like bullshit some random video that was like pointless. At least I got stuff done, and it's things that have been bothering me for a while. Talking about that Choco Red. Very excited for my new import. Hopefully it does well in my care. Honestly, I can see that becoming one of my new favorite philodendrons in my collection, and I'm just really happy to have it. So if you have a chance to get your hands on an Esmeraldense F, I highly recommend it. It's so, oh my gosh, it's so delicious in person. Hey buddy. Hi, you little cutie. Okay. So, sorry, quick intermission / interruption in the video. This is future me. I wanted to give you guys a 3-day update since I did the chop and rehab. So this is the philodendron Choco Red. You can see it is super perky now. It was like super floppy before, and I want to show you how much the stem perked up as well. So pretty much all of those wrinkles in the stem are gone, and this is what I mean when I say to let it perk up first before you guys do any sort of smaller node chopping. Like if you're doing anything like, I don't know, 2 inches and smaller. I haven't actually cleaned up this chunk yet with my scraper, but I will do it maybe in a couple days. And it's kind of hard to shove it back in here now because it's plumped up so much. So feeling very good about that. So glad. I think this one's gonna do just fine. I don't even think this leaf is going to die off, hopefully. And then onto this mystery anthurium. I know it looks really just sad, but this leaf has actually perked up a lot too. When I was working with it, it was like so soft. It felt like microwaved spinach. This stem looks pretty much the same. Yeah, definitely has perked up. The petiole has perked up. It's super firm. And I think they're both honestly going to make a nice recovery. I'm just hoping this one likes me a little bit more than it liked Lauren. I even think this stem is like, or not this stem, but this root right here is waking up even more. So fingers crossed for them, you guys. Oh, I made a huge mess. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it helps Pudge and I a lot on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching another upload, and I will see you in the next one.